that you're doing on purpose. Sing like a singing on key. Talk to the girl that intimidates you. Pretend that you're brilliant and charming. I said pretend that you're brilliant and charming. Hey!
Yes, everybody, welcome in later with Jason Suel. So glad that you were tuned in. Band getting us cranked up for this episode.
One. You know, that was a kind of a different flavor. What's been happening since I've been gone?
I was gonna say, it's been a minute since you've been here.
Playing different songs. I feel like this chair's scooted in a weird way.
We lowered it.
Yeah, shorter. I don't know.
You know, we've had a great season so far.
Without me?
Yeah, season 13 rolling along. We have visited you a couple of times there at Pinpoint.
True.
But you were saying before we started that this is the first time you've actually been in the studio in a while.
Yeah, since like, I think September.
Anything different?
I mean, a little. No, not much. Not much.
Not much has changed.
Same old. But no, it's good to be back. I mean, it was a crazy fall into now spring.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I thought usually spring went in. You know, it was different.
You thought there was winter in there somewhere?
No, none of that. But yeah, it's good to be back in the studio.
Yeah, you've had a busy time there at Pinpoint. Obviously, you got it decked out for the Halloween season, and then you had it all ready to go for the Christmas season as well. And you know, you had us down there. You made some fantastic cocktails. It's always fun to hang out. But it's great to have you back here. We've had a great time. You know, Betsy Rawlings from Fayetteville Athletic Club has kind of been keeping your seat warm while you've been gone.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, that might be what that is. Yeah, so don't adjust your screens. It's not Betsy today. It's Bo. Yeah. So yeah, did you have a good fall, winter? Like, how's it been going other than being busy?
Yeah, it was intense. It was so good. You know, I love Fayetteville and Northwest Arkansas. There's just so much going on. Like, you know, it's what the show is all about.
Yeah.
And you know, that's the one thing that I do truly miss about being so busy in the holiday seasons. I don't get to partake in so many of these cool things that are happening every day.
Right. Yeah.
And so I'm really looking forward to like 2026 being able to get back into that rhythm of just absorbing the area.
Absolutely. And you got a lot of things in the hopper too with some other ventures you're going into as well.
Got a new venue in Bentonville, and I'm opening up a new all ages venue here in Fayetteville.
Yeah.
And yeah, 2026, hopefully, you know, rents will stay low. Talking to you, landlords.
Yeah, that's right. We hope. We got a fantastic show lined up just for you because your first episode back in the studio. That's right. We're going to be chatting with Cody Ford from the Arkansas Cinema Society, dropping by to talk about all things movies and everything he's got going on in our community, as you mentioned. And we got a great music video provided by KUAF. That's right. Tristan is going to be in the studio joining us for a great musical sound. And then down there at our chef's table, we've got the one and only Chef Matthew Cooper from Wren and Conifer. What are you doing?
We're going to be doing 2 examples of dishes you could see at Wren.
Oh, I can't wait. Wren is the talk of the town, man.
It is.
That spot is amazing. I can't wait. All of that is lined up for you on this episode, so stick around. We got more happening later. Welcome back, everybody. We got Cody Ford here joining us from the Arkansas Cinema Society, the Idol class, so many other things. Thanks for being here, Cody. Great to see you.
It's good to be here, Jason.
Yeah, man. So let's talk about Arkansas Cinema Society first. You all have been in the state for several years now doing some amazing work. For folks who might not be familiar with ACS, in your own words, what is it?
Yeah, so ACS, we started back in 2017. And our goal really is to grow the filmmaking ecosystem here in Arkansas. So we've got these tenets, it's watch, learn, and make. So all the things that we do are kind of based around those 3 things. And so, you know, some people here in Northwest Arkansas may be familiar. We do screenings everywhere from like Crystal Bridges down here to like the city parks. We've had very successful collaboration with Parks and Rec the last few years in the summers. So, you know, we try to do, you know, sometimes we try and do like locally made films or films with a local connection. We love to do that. And those are always a hit. But, you know, other times like in the summer, let's just bring people together in that communal setting and let's go watch like Back to the Future. Or we did Land Before Time, and that was a tearjerker, you know. But
that's such a good
the
movie.
long necks.
But that's such a good film, and it does bring the community together. And I think that's one thing that film does in general. I mean, that's why you go to the movies, right? To watch something with the people you love.
Exactly, something that you don't get from streaming these days. Because it's, I mean, you know, back, you know, a while back during the holidays, I spent a lot of time on streaming, catching up on Stranger Things and all that. And it's just not quite the same, like, as whenever I, you know, loaded up in the car and I drove and I got some popcorn and like went to the movies. And I understand like budgets can be an issue too with that, you know. But you can sometimes, you know, you go to a matinee or you go, maybe there's a $5 movie night or something, because the theaters, there's still some magic to that. It's something we don't want to lose.
You know, you're speaking our language. Both myself and Bo will tell you, go see movies at the theater. Am I right, Bo?
Oh, it's my biggest mantra.
Yeah.
I've got it tattooed right here, actually.
Don't show that to the camera. And I think there's something that you just said about one of your pillars, which is what? Do?
Watch,
make?
learn, and make.
Make. Okay.
So yeah, but to get to make, you got to learn first.
Yeah. Okay.
So you know,
walk me through it.
Yeah. So we try and do things throughout the year. We've had a very successful thing that's been going on in Little Rock called ACS Night School, and it's been going on for a couple of years now at the Arkansas Museum of Fine Arts. We had a very successful acting for film and TV class. It's on hiatus right now, but we're hoping it comes back soon. But we've done other classes, like we did one on why film scores matter, and that really dug into, you know, if you're a filmmaker, you could go out and you could get AI to make your music, or you could go to one of these music libraries or whatever. But why does that score matter? Why does that really take a film to the next level?
Yeah.
And you know, guys like us who are really into movies and TV, like we understand, but not everybody does. So that was a really fun class.
I've told people many times that sound and music in a movie is 50% of what you see.
Absolutely.
It's so true, and I think when you have a composer or a music director who is running the music for that particular project, it's so important if it's a person and they have a personal tie and a connection to that, you can feel the emotion a little bit more than you can if you're having it created by AI, like you mentioned.
Oh, 100%. You know, we've done some other classes about writing short films. We do workshops throughout the year. We did, you know, last year we had like a screenwriting workshop. We had one on hair and makeup for film and TV, you know, because that's very different than just doing standard hair and makeup. So that was a fun one. You know, a lot of this has happened, you know, in Little Rock, but we've done some things up here, like a practical special effects workshop with Emmanuel Rodriguez over at Fayetteville Public Library last year. That was a big hit. Like, they got to come in and actually make some stuff that day. And yeah, I think people really enjoyed it. So you got to learn, and then you get to where you can make. And one of the cool things about making is these days, you know, when I was growing up, it's like, filmmaking didn't seem like a real.
No, you felt like you were kind of
know?
siloed, like you were doing it by yourself without a community. You were just kind of guerrilla style. If you wanted to do something, you had to go out and do everything.
Yeah. And a great place to learn, Fayetteville Public TV.
Yeah.
You know, and that is where I learned to do a lot of it. But you also, you need that community too, and that's one of the cool things about these classes is they're creating that community. And so you learn that, and then, you know, either you go rent the equipment, or, I mean, we've all got cameras in our pocket
Right,
now.
absolutely.
At the Girls Lab a few years ago, we shot it on an iPhone.
Yeah.
You know, and so that was a very cool experience to let them know that you're all filmmakers right now. You know, you learn these basics, and then you go out and do it.
That's amazing. And I know that you have Filmland coming up, right? That's happening later this year.
Yeah, Filmland's going to be coming up in mid-August, around the same time as it was last year. Filmland is a lot of fun. So for people who haven't made it down to join us at Filmland, it is when we get the chance to really bring these movies from some of the top festivals like Sundance, Tribeca, you know, Venice, all these others, and we get to bring them there. And, you know, we usually get to bring some special guests. You know, last year we had Jay Duplass, who's a famous indie filmmaker and actor. But we've had a lot of others. We had Coleman Domingo. I mean, that guy, I think, probably will get nominated for an Oscar for something this year.
Huge year this year.
Yeah, like every year he's nominated for an Oscar the last few years. You know, we've had other special guests like Chloe Zhao, the filmmaker. We've had Adam Driver, Jessica Chastain. So it's very cool to be able to do stuff like that. But also, what's really fun about Filmland is we get to showcase these movies that have been made by Arkansas filmmakers through our Filmland Arkansas program. So throughout the week, you can come watch a short film, you can come watch features, and the winners, so we have student category, we have professional, and then we have the feature category.
Okay.
So the professional and the feature, if you win, Panavision gives a new filmmaker grant for you.
Wow, that's awesome.
And so, yeah, it's very cool. In the last few years, there was a movie, Violent Ends, that just came out. shot up here in NWA. John Michael Powell was a winner, and he used that grant. My friend Cassie Keat made her film Abigail Before Beatrice, and she got the grant a few years ago for her feature that won. So yeah, it's very exciting to be able to give those filmmakers the tools to go and make the next project. And just it's such a fun time. And again, it's all about community.
Sure.
Because when you get people out there, you get them together, you never know what they're going to go make.
So before we let you go, we got to talk about the Idol class. Give us a quick plug, Cody. This is your kind of your passion project.
It has
right?
been my passion project for a very long time.
Yeah.
And as you and Bo can both attest, y'all have known me for a while, and I think y'all have both. You've been in here.
Yeah, for sure. Whenever I think Cody Ford, I know you do ACS stuff, but the first thing that pops into my mind is this.
I was the Idol class guy for a very long time, and now I've kind of become the ACS guy. But yeah, we're still going strong after 13 years in print, 15 years all together. So it's very exciting. We've got this new visual arts issue out, and people need to check that out. That's our recent filmmaking issue that we had right there.
Yeah, it's
and that
beautiful.
Featured a lot of these filmmakers that I've gotten to know through ACS and just through my career in that the last few years.
And what's your vision for this? You're kind of bringing the creative community of Arkansas together in one publication, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's I grew up and spent a lot of time like in South Arkansas and Central Arkansas, and then I lived in Fayetteville for ages, and I just know all these creative people around the state. And so the vision has always been, let's bring them all together under one masthead and one place where you can go to hear the stories of somebody who is like out in Eureka Springs, or someone who maybe is in Jonesboro or the Delta, or Little Rock, or Bentonville, Fayetteville,
Right.
all of that. So, and each issue has a theme. Like say, visual arts is the new one. That's the filmmaking issue you've got right there. And it's a lot of fun to do a deep dive. Like when we've done food and drink, I've had Chef Matt Cooper has been in there for a while, several times. And so it's always fun to find out what guys like him are up to, and really get them to talk about it, because I love talking to chefs because they're so passionate about food.
They're passionate about food,
Yeah,
yeah.
and you learn something every time.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's great to be able to showcase people like that, or people that are making beer or wine or spirits and things like that when we do those food issues. So yeah, it's just been a lot of fun over the years, and we hope to keep going strong.
For folks who want to find out more information on ACS, what's that website, and then where can we check out the Idol class?
So you find out more about ACS, go to arkansascinemasociety.org. And for the Idol class, you can go to idolclassmag.com, and both of them are on Instagram. We are at the Idol class, and then the other is at Arkansas Cinema.
Awesome. Cody, thanks for taking a moment of your very busy schedule to visit with us. We appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely. Stick around. We got more fun happening later.
Our musical guest brought to you by Walton Arts Center. Walton Arts Center, presenting the West Street Live series.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tristan.
The mother is a glutton for pain. She wants to feel so deep. She'll never talk about it with you, 'cause you'd want the truth. Gray rock, 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 gray rock. You never made a big success. Your priorities were straight. Don't worry, you were doing just fine. And your music is great. Too true, too true, too true, too true. Hey, La, I'm talking to you. Too true, too true, too true, too true, too true. Hey, La, I'm talking to you. If everyone is saying it this time, then no one really is. You're dancing to get out of your own way now. Another broken kid. True blue, true blue, true blue, true blue. Hey, love, I'm talking to you. True blue, true blue.
Yes, we're down here at the Chef's Table. Chef Matthew Cooper joining us. You know him from Conifer, but also got this new amazing spot called Wren.
Oh, yeah.
And you said you're making 2 dishes that we might see at Wren.
Yeah, so at Wren we have a full-scale farm. It's a small farm, kind of boutique farm, right
But you grow
outside the door.
everything.
We grow everything.
Yeah.
And then everything we grow, we're serving in our 10-course tasting menu. So
10 courses.
sometimes we're
And then you set it on fire.
set it on fire. Sometimes we're doing, we're harvesting right before service and things like that. And in fact, most times in the spring. Right now, we still got a full farm, like growing. Everything's winter vegetables. So 2 examples of things that we might see throughout the tasting menu would be, we have a nice little winter salad that we're going to make. It's kind of a
we set it on fire?
deconstruction. No, not that one. The other one we're going to set on fire, and I'll let you do it. We've got a little kale aioli, and again, everything comes from the farm. So we've got a kale aioli, we've got a little bit of radish and carrot and pickled beet, and then a little bit of candied pepitas. And then the other dish we're going to do is a little dumpling dish, potato and sauerkraut dumpling with a caramelized buttermilk. We make our own butter from local
But those
local
dumplings are
cream.
not, they're like wrapped in grass.
They're wrapped in chard that we've also
Okay,
grown.
all right.
So Swiss chard that we've
So it's
also
like
grown.
it's like a hippie dumpling.
Yeah, it's like a nice little
right.
thing. And then we've done, like I said, caramelized buttermilk, little dumplings, little crispy sauerkraut, and just really
Is that
great
what this
dish.
stuff is? Crispy kraut?
That's the crispy kraut. So essentially, we've made kraut, we've dehydrated it.
Oh, that's lovely.
Isn't that so delicious?
So can we go back to the salad over there?
Yeah.
That looks really simple, right? Okay,
Yeah,
so you're
super simple.
You're laying down something first. What is
But that's the
this? Is the
secret about
aioli?
Matt Cooper is
Yeah.
everything looks simple, but
Right.
it's not.
Absolutely.
It's like
So
super complex.
we've got a little bit of kale aioli, and then we just layer that a little bit with the daikon, or excuse me, kohlrabi, and a little bit of beet and wild carrot. Isn't that
Layer
too
the
much?
Give
beets.
us a beat. Give us a beat.
Yeah,
There we
give
go.
us that little beet.
Yeah.
Layer in some beets.
There we go.
Yeah, that's
Keep it fresh, pickled and fresh. We want to highlight the ingredients. We don't really want to take away from them. And then just a little bit
That's the
of
pepitas.
candied pepitas, and then you can
So-
eat that in 1 or 2 bites.
So because you're so farm to table and everything comes from the farm, like we are getting into winter. So are you guys going to be doing like a lot of pickled stuff or preserves? Like how does that work when there ain't no vegetables outside?
So we've got a lot of vegetables growing on the farm, but yes, throughout the spring we were harvesting, preserving, pickling, and things like that. So we've got a lot of fun things that we've kind of kept throughout the time. Will you
That's
do me
cool.
a favor and just torch
Yeah,
the entire
just
top of
torching
that?
it?
Yep.
Wow.
Okay.
What does that do?
Well, we're just gonna caramelize it, so wait until it gets a little charred
Oh, I
like
see,
that.
yeah.
There we go.
So you want a little char?
Yep. Perfect. That's
Got it. Did it.
And then we just do
À la cuisine.
Yep, à la cuisine. And then we get a little bit of crunchies here. We've got a little bit of kale oil that we've extracted from kale.
Kale oil. So how do you extract kale oil? Do you have
So-
like a kale derrick in the
We've
backyard?
got a kale derrick.
It's just-
Yeah, we've got a press. No, we blanch it and then we puree it and then we with oil and then we'll sit it through a strainer and let it slowly strain and
okay.
then we strain out the color from the oil.
Okay.
You got a lot of
that
kale
nice and
happening. Is that something that's
Strain out
growing
the
in
color.
abundance
abundance right now? You got the kale aioli, you got this kale
Yeah.
oil.
So 100% utilization. We're playing with the entire life cycle of the plant. So we'll use if we've sautéed kale, we do
Seeds.
that. We'll use the stems and we'll puree that for the oil. We're using different. Again, just trying to figure out every way we can use everything that we're growing, from the flower to the seed to everything. So
Yeah.
really kind of playing with those things. But we've got winter things like carrots, daikon, beets, of course. Kale, chard, fennel, and a lot of other things that we're kind of trying to play with right now.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
How often does the menu change?
Oh, the menu changes. It's a lot of work. So we're open 4 days a week. We have one research day, which is Tuesday, and we're open Wednesday through Saturday, reservation only. But the menu's could change daily.
Wow.
And the
Okay.
menu is specific to the guest.
Because
So
they're like,
we accommodate
these beets, we can't
all-
use them. What do we
No.
do? We
Yeah.
change it.
Or if it rains too much and we have way too many cucumbers and they sprout up, then we're going to change the menu.
Okay.
But we accommodate every single guest's dietary restrictions.
That's
So
amazing.
we did 18 covers on one night and we had 17 dietary restrictions, so we did 17 different menus that night.
Wow, that is so impressive that
And
you're able to
so
pull that off.
it doesn't matter if you're dairy-free, nut-free, soy-free, celiac, which the entire restaurant's gluten-free.
So you're saying I need to come in and just make up some
No.
stuff? I would
No,
never.
We don't
Yeah.
need to do
Yeah.
that. But we also do deal in dislikes as well, because we want to set you up for success, right? Because you're not going to see the menu.
Why do
until
you do
after
these things
you're
to
done.
yourself,
Do
dude?
you give them a questionnaire? Like when people get there, how do you know you have all
When
these
you make your
dietaries?
reservation, you'll make your reservation, and then one of our hostesses will call you and say, are there any dietary restrictions that you did not list for anyone in your group? Because we need to know, because there's a lot of planning has to go into this.
Sure.
And they also say, is there anything you don't like?
Okay.
Because we don't want to we're not trying to push something on you.
Right.
We want you to have the best experience possible. There's no reason you should leave without being just as happy as possible.
Okay.
Because we have through
What if
10
they say they don't
courses.
like vegetables?
I had someone say that they only, actually it's his wife, said that they only eat meat.
Oh.
And I was like, but what if, nope, meat. And I was like, so we
Okay.
we creatively found some ways to challenge the guest and stuff like that, and they had an amazing time.
Awesome.
Yeah, of course.
But they also got 12 courses of meat.
How do you? Okay, 10 courses. It's like, what is that? Appetizer, 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 appetizer. Like, are they all small
It's a
bites?
tasting
on
menu,
the
yeah.
So
plates?
they're all going to be this size, right? So you'll start out and there'll be a thoughtful little bite for something that we've created that day
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
from the garden, and then you roll into the courses. And each course kind of has a wine pairing as well, if you choose to do that. That's paired specifically for that course. And yeah, they're just all like, I'd say 2 to 3 bites.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
you roll through. Typically, you're going to spend, we've seen people burn through
That's
in
30
an hour
to
and a
40
half.
bites, though.
Yeah.
By the end of the
Oh,
meal.
yeah.
That's
That's
a lot of
tasty.
bites.
Yeah, it's a lot of bites. And then, you should, want to spend about, 2.5 hours.
Okay, so
2.5, 3
plan for
hours.
about 2.5, 3 hours
Yeah.
when you're coming. And how do people make those reservations?
So you can do it online at renbentonville.com, or you can check out our Instagram, and it has a link for that too.
Awesome. Man, thanks for bringing this food. Let's try it before we get out of this episode. We're going to do that a bit later. Stick around. All that's happening later. Yes, everybody, that's our show. Thanks for tuning in to Later with Jason Suel. Remember, you can find us out there on your social media platforms or send us an email over at laterwithjasonsuel.com.
And don't forget, if you missed any episodes like I have, you can catch up on all of them on our YouTube.
That's right. Before we get out of here, we've got to thank all of our amazing guests, including Cody Ford. Thanks for joining us from ACS.
And of course, Matt Cooper from Marin bringing us all these lovely bites.
Yes, and how about that music video, Tristan, provided to us by our friends at KUAF. That's our show. We'll see you later, alligator.
After a while, crocodile.
I'm going to eat with my hands.